Hi, this is Dennis with EDU 613. We're in week 8. If you hear a little cooing or some sound in the background, it's because I'm holding our 8-month-old. My wife has been sick today, and therefore right now I happen to have him, but hopefully he won't make too much noise. But here we've been talking about how should a teacher respond to the issue of homosexuality in terms of the reality of where we're at in our culture and how to respond in the classroom. Because in 2011 there were some parents, that is, who I believe had some lawsuits toward a particular school district where the policy was, okay, teachers remain neutral on the issue of homosexuality in the classroom. And then there was bullying towards students who were homosexual, and so obviously that's what this is all about in terms of the textbook and EDU 613 asking us to respond. What do we think? And I think in the middle of the Venn diagram is where it's white. It's dialectic reasoning. We have to be reasonable, and we have to, in our reasonableness, we have to recognize that truth must prevail. And even in our democratic society where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, knowing that not everybody is going to agree on what truth is. For example, a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian is going to have certain things they can agree on and other things they can't, but the things they can agree on would in many respects be different than, say, an atheist, and that's just naming a few different people in terms of how they identify themselves. But the point is, truth has to be the source of the dialectic reasoning. Now, inside the actual universe of this concept, in the rectangle, in the larger area, would be the school community, because we're talking about a classroom or a school campus where this understanding is to be applied. So I think it's very difficult, actually. I think this is a tough situation. I think in terms of neutrality, if we're being neutral, like let's say we're strongly convinced that homosexuality is wrong, whether we call it a sin or a disordered behavior or simply against the laws of nature, however we might identify it. If we believe that it's wrong, but we're neutral, then we're compromising because we're not speaking out on it. But you'd be fired, so teachers aren't going to do that. But if you speak in favor of it, which would move over into the realm of tolerance, so if you move just from neutrality to the far left into at least the white area, or fully over to the, into the right area there, from the left into tolerance, then you're compromising your beliefs. Now, I suppose that's true the other way around. If you're convinced homosexuality is moral, that it's perfectly fine, there's nothing bad about it, and you want tolerance for it, to move over toward the center where the white is, or even all the way to the left to where neutrality is, and say, well, I'm not going to speak in favor of it, then that person would be compromising their beliefs because they do believe it's good, and therefore they don't want to be quiet about it. So the point is, this is affecting everybody. And of course, this is 7 years later. Since 2011, it's become the law of the land, that is same-sex marriage. So, I mean, a lot has evolved socially here in 11 years, socioeconomically and otherwise. So for me, I think, yes, if the universe of this concept in the rectangle is the school campus, the school environment only, then I would say, obviously, the truth for dialectic reasoning is to say, obviously, regardless if a student is homosexual or not, they have to be treated with dignity. And that's about all I'm going to say, because I don't have time to go into more detail here, but there's going to have to be a healthy balance in the classroom context.